All right. Are you a realtor who wants to add video to your marketing or make your current video even better, maybe even viral? You want simple tools to help? Then you're in the right place. Welcome to the Rams Agents Talk Real Estate, the training series for real estate agents, brokers, and realtors. Today's speaker is Blake Watson, and the title of his talk is Realtor Videos with Low Budget, High Impact, Three Tools to Make You Look Like a Pro on Camera. Blake is a real estate agent licensed in Tennessee and Georgia who hosts two podcasts, one called Let's Talk Chattanooga Real Estate and a second called the Marketing AI Podcast. Plus, he co hosts a weekly radio show called Your Home Radio. Well, now on for the show. Again, please mute yourself until the end so we can get a nice clean recording and ask any questions you have in chat. We'll be reviewing those questions at the end and also allow you to ask directly if you would like to unmute yourself at that time. There will be, again, that formal Q&A at the end. So now a great big round of applause and welcome for Blake Watson.
Thank you, Mike. Hey, thank you everyone for coming today. It's great to have you. As I mentioned, I came to my local association to get the best internet so we wouldn't have any glitches at all. But the lighting isn't as great here, so that's what we got. Today we're talking about realtor videos, as Mike said, with low budget and high impact. One thing Mike didn't mention is that I actually had a career prior to being an agent in television and radio, and I'm still involved in radio to a great deal. But I had a whole career in that, and for a while I even owned a video production agency, and that was a long while back, long before we had high definition video or even or could shoot anything on our cameras or on our phones, I should say. So I just wanted you to know that. So I do have a background in some of this, and that's why it came more naturally to me, I think, to use video. And most of my uh, peers and sphere of influence, my the folks that knew that I was a realtor expected me to have better video than the next guy. Um, but today we're going to talk about these three tools. Just it's an introductory kind of thing here. I'm going to do more of these in the future because there's a lot to unpack. Three tools that make you look like a pro on camera. My first question for you, and I know we're muted, so I'll just ask and then I'll give you a moment to think about it. How many of you have a headshot on your business card or on your sign or on printed material? You got a headshot? Yep, a lot of hands. We all have headshots, right? That's a very common thing for an agent to have. And why do we have the headshots? I mean, have you really thought about that? We have the headshots. There's a reason for it. We want to be remembered and associated with real estate. And we want our our faces to be our brand whether or not we are on a team or if we are solo agents. If you're a solo agent, you especially need to build your own brand. And your brand, as we all know, is generally not your brokerage. I mean, it is to some degree, but it's really you. Because even within your brokerage, you're going to need to have your name stand out, your face be remembered, and the people that you know or that you're trying to build some rapport with, they feel connected to you. And the way to do that is with your face. And that's why we put our faces on business cards. That's why we have pictures, sometimes on our signs or certainly on printed materials. Um, the truth is, your face is the most powerful personal branding tool you have. And that's why we want to use it in video. Let's translate that to video and social media posts. We all know that video is much more engaging than just a static image or uh, a text post. If you're doing social media, we all know that video's where it's at, right? That's why you came to listen to today's talk, because video is so important in our marketing. Well, there's many realtors who make home tours. I've got some notes here to help me. Many realtors make home tour videos and many photography services. You know, the guys who go out and shoot your listing photos, they will often make a video for you, and the video has cool transitions between pictures of the house, and maybe there's some zoom ins or some pans where the camera moves and you can see, the room move. Well, that's all great, but that is totally missing the mark if you are not personally on camera with your face talking to the camera and building your own brand. People will see those other videos and they're better than just, a single image, certainly. But you're totally missing the secret sauce if you're not putting yourself on camera. So that's kind of a scary thing for a lot of folks. You may be camera shy or just, how do I do that, Blake? I get it. I'm supposed to be on camera, but when I get on camera, I get really nervous and I'll do two or three takes on a video. And that's not even close to how many it needs. It probably needs 20 takes to get it down. So let's talk about the tools because it's not as hard as it might sound. Um, we need you to be speaking one-on-one to the viewer on camera. So you're speaking to the camera itself as though that's a personal friend. Um, Whether it's a home tour video or what I'm going to do today is a market update, just a data. I thought I would make something that's pretty complex because a home tour, a lot of times you can go through and just kind of describe the things that are in the home. This is a little more technical with the market update. I've got numbers and information, so I'm going to show you how I do that, market stats. Um, so here are the three best basic steps and the tools to make yourself look like a pro. Number one, and this, I don't know if it's the most important or not, but it's very important. It is to script your video. Now, it doesn't absolutely have to be word for word, but I'm going to show you a tool that I use that is literally word for word. But you definitely have to have bullet points at the very least. But you need to script your video. You need to plan it. And I do a lot of house tour videos, and and I don't just randomly make those. I have a script and I think about it. I sit down to think about what it is I want to show in this house, what it is I want to say about the house. And so I planned it out and I write that up. I type it up. I use a Word document and type it up often. Thankfully, in the past few years, we've been able to start utilizing ChatGPT or Claude or one of the other services to help us write the scripts. So the one I'm going to be using today, I did have Claude help me. I did all of the data information from the MLS to make a market report. I just kind of typed up a quick market report like I would say it into a Word document. Then I dumped that into Claude and allowed Claude to polish it up for me. I'm going to do it live on cam on the call here in just a moment so you can see how it went. But anyway, you plan to do what you're going to show in your video. If it's a house tour, what I usually do is just make sure I'm at the beginning of the video, I'm standing in front of the house. This is my basic format. I stand in front of the house, there's a camera on me, and I say, "Hey, I'm in Hickson today," or whatever part of town I'm in. And we're going to look at this three-bedroom, two-bath house, and it's beautiful. It's in whatever neighborhood, and let's take a look inside. And that's literally what I say. Let's take a look inside. And then I'll turn and start walking toward the house. But as soon as I turn, I later edit that. But that's all I do. I'm on camera for that. Then we're inside and I'm not on camera while we're looking through the house. Um, and then at the end, it comes back out to me standing outside at the end of the video, me standing outside giving a wrap up, reminding them that they can come take a personal tour with me. I may mention the listing price. It depends on whether I really want them to contact me for that information, or if I want the listing price to filter some people out so that they don't call me, whatever the case is. Um, but anyway, that's my basic format, and I'm going to go through that in a future talk, how I actually do the home tour video. But anyway, number one tool is the script. And what I love is it's free. And it's free whether you're doing it on Google Docs and then using ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini to help you rewrite it. It's free. You can do that. I do happen to have a paid version of ChatGPT, but you can certainly do the free version. It's fine. The next tool I have is a tripod. This is the simplest stuff. I've got it behind me here, and I'll show you a little more in depth in a minute. But this is a very simple tripod. And just before this call, I went online and looked at Amazon and found a almost identical tripod that's currently on sale for $14.99 or something like that. 15 bucks. A tripod that's going to hold the camera for me out in front of me and give me a very stable and very professional looking video, as opposed to me just holding the phone out here, which I could do that. And if you don't have a tripod, do that. Hold the phone out here and talk. But if you can put it on a tripod, that's a tool I use, and it's very easy. Then the third tool is I have an app on my phone that is a teleprompter. And a teleprompter, if you don't know what that is, it's a tool that's been used for many years, the for decades. Television newscasters, the anchor desk, they are using a teleprompter. They're reading straight off of the teleprompter. The politicians use a teleprompter to make sure they are reading their script, their speech. And when you've done it a little while, you get more comfortable with it and you get more fluid, and you can practice this. That's what's great about using a tool like a teleprompter on your phone, an app. I always pre-record mine. I record them if I'm going to go and be at a house. I'll sit in the car and read it a few times because the teleprompter will roll the script by, and I'll sit there just with my phone and read it. The app that I happen to use is one called Big View, and that's spelled Bigvu, Big View. And I do pay for that. I think there is a pre or a free sample, maybe with less bells and whistles. I pay. I was writing it down here. I happen to pay $50 for 6 months. $50 every 6 months for Big View. Now, I know that Angela has used an app called Teleprompter, and she's used that for years. And she uses a free version. So Teleprompter is another app. You don't have to have my particular app, but you want a teleprompter type of app. So there's one called Big View, there's one called Teleprompter. I think there's a separate one called teleprompter.com. There's several different apps that are available. The one I use, as I mentioned, is Big View. What I like about that particular tool is I can type the script on my laptop or on my computer. And then when I save it, it automatically goes to the cloud and it's available then on my phone. So I guess I just mentioned the script is number one tool. Number two tool is the tripod. Number three is the app on my phone. I'm going to give you that fourth one, which is the phone itself. I didn't even think about that. It's so ubiquitous. We all have a phone and we all know we can shoot video with phone. Um, Couple things I'm going to just give you a couple of tips before I actually do this. And the tips are make sure you have good lighting. I happen to be in fluorescent lighting right now with an open window, also spilling some natural light into the room. What I prefer to do, I'm not going to get to do this today, but my preference is to be standing outside. Outdoors gives you the best lighting. If you can have natural light outdoors, now it's not great to do it if there's a heavy wind coming through. So you don't want that if it's a really windy day or if you happen to be in front of a street that's got a ton of noise coming by. Because the next thing is the audio. It's important to have good audio, good sound. And a lot of times there is a tool that I happen to have, but I rarely use. Almost, I don't can't remember the last time I used it. But it's a little lapel microphone that connects to my um, cell phone wirelessly, and those are inexpensive as well. Maybe $50 or something for one or two of them through Amazon. You can use those. That's not a bad deal to do that, but I don't. The phone on my camera is a very good, or the microphone on my phone is a very good microphone, and it does a great job as long as I'm pretty close to it. Got to be kind of within about 4 feet, maybe roughly 4 feet of your phone to get really good audio straight off the phone. Anytime you're further away, you start getting a lot more ambient noise that's coming in from around you. But anyway, so those are a couple things. The audio is important and always speak clearly. And I'm going to show you, I've already got this set up, so I'm going to record it and then I'll show you how it worked. Okay. What I've done, as I mentioned, I'm doing a market update. It's about a minute and a half. It's market data. I've put it all in my, I typed up a script. I let Claude, the AI, rewrite my script to make it, I thought it did a good job. And I actually just cut and pasted straight from that. And then it's on my phone. So I've got this set up here. Give me just a second and I'm going to roll it. I'll show you. Well, since I've got it set up, I'm going to do it live first, and then I'll show you how it looks on the camera. And it counts me down: 5, 4, 3, 2. Here's your Chattanooga real estate market update for the first week of March, and there's a lot to unpack. Right now, we have 3,410 active listings in the Chattanooga MLS. That's up 16% from a year ago, meaning more homes, more choices, and less competition for buyers. Now, inventory did peak near 3,800 listings last fall, so we've come down a bit, but we're still in a much healthier supply environment than we've seen in years. Home sales have slowed in February, 620 homes sold. That's down 13% from 716 sales this time last year. The market is moving, but it's moving slower. Now, that slowdown shows up in days on market. That's now at 74 days on average. If you list your home today, expect it to be on the market for roughly 2.5 months before it sells. And that's up over 25% from last year. So sellers need to set realistic expectations. And prices, the median home price in Chattanooga is $335,000. That's just a 1.5% higher than $330,000 a year ago. So prices are still rising, but not at the breakneck pace that we had before the pandemic or during the pandemic. Now, if you are looking to buy, you've got more options, you've got more inventory. And sellers, if you are looking to sell, you're going to need to plan a longer timeline. It may take a little longer. If you want data specific to your neighborhood or zip code, then reach out to me, Blake Watson with Epic Realty. Send me a message, a text, or give me a call. I'm always here to help you make a smarter real estate decision. That's all there is to it, guys. Um, so now I'm going to show you how that tool looks. That was a minute 48 from beginning to end. But I'm going to show you, I'm going to make a new take and let you see what I was seeing here as I recorded. So it's going to count me down: 3, 2, 1. And you see that script? I don't know if you can see it very well there, but it's rolling and it's moving at it. You can change the pace. I think you are getting the idea there. So that is moving at a certain pace, but it also is. Now I can see myself on camera here when I'm recording. And my camera, of course, on the phone is right at the top. So it keeps my eyes right there. In fact, it's incredible. If you watch the video, which I can let it play back here. then you'll see that it looks like I'm just right there watching it. Estate market update for the first week of March, and there's a lot to unpack. Right now, we have 3,410 active listings in the Chattanooga. Okay, I think you get the idea. I'm looking right at the camera. It gives me a very smooth look. Now, you probably could tell I felt pretty comfortable doing that. And that is not expected on your first try. It's not expected at all. But you'll get there. That's the thing. When you have that tool, that's gold because it props you up and gets you where you can do the what might seem impossible. I just reeled off all that data and was able to do that. Now I will go back and edit this. And when I say edit, I'm going to do more work to it. I'm going to put the data points, I'm actually going to put screens up with information that are going to drop in as cutaways while I'm talking. And I could just have graphics come up because I'm looking at the camera the whole time. I could just have graphics come up and show right in front of me. And I've done that too. I may do that. Actually, I haven't decided, but I'm going to publish this tomorrow. So it needs to get out. That was the February data. It's time to do it, right? Here we are, early March. So I just wanted to share those things with you. I will do more of these. We talked about this being really phase one or lesson number one for video making, because as I was talking with my mastermind group, we realized there were so many elements to making a proper video and different types of videos. But I think if you just understand that you've got to be on camera, you've got to look at the camera, you've got to talk to your people. You don't have to be on the whole video, but you need to be on for part of it, maybe at the beginning and middle, end, whatever, but you need to be on for part of it at least. And then these tools make it really simple to do that. The script, make sure it's pre-scripted, your tripod, and then an app that lets you use it as a teleprompter. And of course, I'm about to turn it over for questions, Q&A. If you want to know more information, certainly I want you to be sure to speak to whoever invited you today, because that person can get you connected with our entire group. And we do this kind of stuff all the time. I mean, every week we're sharing ideas like this with each other. So there we go. I'll turn it back to you, Mike.
Blake, that was fantastic. What a great presentation. I love the three tools. I figured that out. Good job. So it was the script, the tripod, the teleprompter, and you even mentioned the phone as a bonus. The demo was really cool. I don't know about everybody else, but I really enjoyed watching that demo, seeing it in action, checking out that teleprompter that you were using. And I see some questions coming in, and I'm going to get to those in just a second. I just had a question for you, and that was on the video, when as people are writing in their questions, I'll ask this one. Do you edit these videos, or do you just run them the way they are? If you do edit it, how do you do it? What kind of software, or does somebody else do it? Do you do it? Give us some particulars about the editing.
I do edit myself. Um, and again, that kind of comes from my background in uh, running a video production house and being in television and stuff. But so I'm pretty comfortable with that. I could give it to somebody else. There are a lot of pretty simple tools. I use one that's an app called InShot that's extremely good for vertical video. What I just shot was there's a difference, guys, if you didn't know it. Vertical video is the way we look at video on our phones, um, up and down. Then if it's sideways, that's what your TV set looks like at home, and YouTube videos are horizontal videos. So vertical videos, I use this tool called InShot, which is I do pay for that, but I think it was $18 one time. It was not much, and it was a one-time purchase. CapCut, tons of people use a tool called CapCut. I also have that on my phone. I like using it. It's a great tool. InShot is so simple. And I think there's probably something on my iPhone I'm not even using that's free that comes with my phone. I don't doubt that at all. But yes, I happen to use some video editing tools. And the main thing I do like that, what I just shot, the main thing I'm going to do on there is just put some graphics on there to to highlight the main points that I say, like whatever, days on market, number of listings, inventory, median sales price, those kind of things. I will just put that graphic up there. And the other question was, where do I post? I post these on Facebook, Instagram, and on LinkedIn. I also put them on LinkedIn, especially those market reports. They are very appreciated on LinkedIn. I get a lot of business people who comment that they appreciate that. How do I put the graphics on the video? So the video from Big View, and I assume it's the same on teleprompter or some other tools. Um, I can basically save it, and it saves to my phone. So then it's in my photos. I use an iPhone, so then it's in my photos, and I'll open up InShot, which is that app that I use for video editing. And when I open InShot, I'll load that video into it, and then InShot has the graphics capability to lay it on top, superimpose words on top of my video. And CapCut can do the same thing. I mentioned those two because I'm familiar with them. I'm sure there's others, but InShot's simple, and I'm very happy with it. And I shoot a lot of video, and I edit it and put graphics on it with InShot.
Did you say you use a different type of editing software when they do horizontal, a different
Yeah,
frame?
InShot. Oh, that's you're right, Mike. InShot is not the greatest for horizontal. It's perfect for on your phone, vertical video. But horizontal video, I do use CapCut on my desktop. I actually do it, or it's not on my desktop, it's on my laptop, but I use CapCut on a laptop because it lets me do the horizontal.
This is cool. This is great. We're getting some good questions popping in. Let me pop back up to the top here. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Got that, got that, got that. Are you using this same process at the open houses, the same screen and the same teleprompter and everything when you do that open house video you talked about?
Great question. So I will do for an open house, I've got two things I do. I will do a preview, like a promotional video the week of the open house, before the open house, that says, hey, come out this weekend, this Sunday afternoon to the open house. Here's where we're going to be. That's all scripted. It's in front of the house on a tripod, just like I demonstrated. That's scripted, and it's on my teleprompter here. And so I'll produce that and send it out. I'll post it, on Wednesday or Thursday usually. And then when I'm at the open house, I will do a Facebook Live if I have good coverage. Now I've got a house I'm listing right now. It won't support that. My phone will die in the middle of it, or the connection will die. Um, but I try to do a Facebook Live and Instagram Live from the at least the front yard of the property. Sometimes I'll go in the property and look around a little bit, show a few things. I've kind of changed my plan unless there's just something extraordinary inside that I need to show off. And sometimes there is, as you know, there's some feature that you really want to brag about and show off. Then you would do that on a Facebook Live, but I don't show the entire property because I want people to come to the open house. I want to show things that'll excite them about the property and then be done with it. Now, I have done a video. I was just remembering it was a pre-open house video. I did a full tour. This was last year, and it had a pool, and I intentionally wore a suit with tie, and I jumped in the pool at the end of the video. You probably have heard of realtors doing that. Maybe you haven't, but I can tell you that made a big splash, so to speak. I had a lot of people who they said, "Oh, I was watching close, Blake." You know, it's funny. When you are on camera, what I have found, I have had several people tell me, professionals who've told me, and clients who've told me that they watch my videos. They find themselves watching my videos all the way through, which is still amazing to me because that's a 90-second video right there that I just shot. And most people don't stick around for more than 5 or 10 seconds, but which that's why I want to be on at the beginning of the video because I want them to at least see me. Even, if I just show up at the end, well, what good is that? A lot of people won't see that. But I'm surprised at the people who tell me they watch all the way to the end. And I have to think it's because of the narrative style that I use. I don't just let music do the talking. I actually, that's a whole nother thing. We'll talk about that in the future, but I actually narrate when I'm doing a home tour. There's a narration and it's a voiceover. So you're seeing shots of the inside of the house, but you're hearing me describe it. And it's basically the listing description that's on the MLS. Kind of using that stuff.
Blake, this is such a huge topic. You're doing such a great job sharing so much with us. We're getting a lot of great questions. They're kind of all over the board, so I'm going to be bouncing around a little bit. But
Okay.
you were sharing your presentation on that market update, and Amerta asked, "Where did you get the data from the MLS? So can you show us how?" Well, I'm not sure if you could hop into your MLS, but maybe you could describe how you're getting that data that you were putting into that script.
Yeah, so there's a couple ways. And it's interesting you asked that because my association publishes that data publicly every month. They do a monthly report, and it doesn't come out until 5 p.m. on the 11th of the following month. So on March 11th at 5 p.m. or later, they're going to actually publish that. Well, guess what? I'm on top of it way before that. I used to just read their stuff. I would just read theirs off, which is fine. If your MLS already prepares a report, I would call them and ask. And it might be, I mean, they put it in a nice PDF and everything. But anyway, I pull it from the MLS. I use Flex MLS here. That's the type of MLS. So if you have Flex, it probably would run the same way. There's a market statistics tab that I can look for, and it updates each month. Um, you probably would need to talk to your MLS to see exactly how to extract that from the MLS, but it's there. I am quite certain that any of us, whatever format, whatever tool your MLS is running on, there is some way that you can pull that at least at the end of the month, if not sooner, but certainly at the end of the month.
Yeah, a lot of the MLSs have tools, as you said, to give summary data on an area. I think ours is called InfoTrax. I'm in here in Denver, but a lot of these MLSs are similar now. So just check out the beginning of your MLS and the options there. You'll see a lot of cool tools. We got another question here. Again, some of this you've answered, but we'll just create some clarity. Amy said she joined a little late and she was asking, where did you post, which I know you mentioned, but just maybe repeat that. And what teleprompter program did you use on your phone, which you've also stated, but maybe just say that real quick.
Yeah. So I'm using one called Big View, which is BIGVU, Big View. That's the teleprompter tool that I use. I pay $50 for 6 months, and then it renews every 6 months. It's got an Apple subscription, so it comes up every 6 months. Um, I know Angela uses one that's called Teleprompter, and she uses the free version. I think there's a free version of Big View, or at least there was a sample that I could use. But that's the app on my phone. I think if you just go in the App Store and type in teleprompter, there's probably going to be several different ones that pop up. I started with Big View 2 or 3 years, 3 or 4 years ago, I guess, and found it to be useful. And you know how you get used to a particular tool, you use it and you keep using the same one.
Cool. And I'm sorry, I think you're putting that up on uh, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Do you put it on
That's right.
YouTube as well?
I do some YouTube videos, but I don't post everything on, and it's because of that. Well, I mean, this adds to some work here. And what I'll do on a property is I'll have YouTube video as well as um, Instagram and social media stuff, and I'll shoot it twice. I go through the entire property twice, and I do those outside shots twice. I do them, yeah, exactly, Mike. I'll do them vertically, then with the tripod, and then I'm going to have it horizontally with the tripod. Read the same script, it's just a different take. And actually, what I do is I stand, like if this was the screen here, I stand off to the side. Instead of me standing in the middle on the horizontal ones. Now, on the vertical ones, I stand dead center. But on the horizontal ones, I stand off to the side, and then I've got graphics running over here talking about the property, or I'll have my brokerage information. I've got to have my phone number and that kind of stuff. I mean, I want to have my phone number, but I have to have my brokerage phone number to be compliant as well. So you can do all your compliance on there with graphics.
That's
That's what
another
I
pro
do a lot of
tip.
times. Yeah, I make sure that's all done in graphic.
That's another pro tip. So you do the horizontal, you stand on the side so you can flip some graphics to the side, just like the late night television hosts do.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really cool.
yeah, and it looks much more appealing if you're looking at a horizontal video and you're standing on one side of it. I'm kind of showing this up here. I can see. Then you've got graphics all over here, and in fact, I'll have the house. I'll be, like I'm standing in front of the garage maybe, and there's the beauty of the house, and then there's graphics that I'll lay over that.
Yeah, this is good stuff, Blake, and we've got some more questions coming through, and I hope I'm saying it correctly, but Amrita asked, how do you put the graphics on the video? How do you put the graphics on the video? Which tool? And she also asked, what do you do to transfer the video you shot to your laptop? How do you transfer it to your laptop?
Okay, two questions there. The graphics that I'll use, the way do lay those on is with an editing tool, which I know this is beyond what we were shooting for today. That's why I'm saying we'll do this again in more detail in another. We'll go to the next steps. Today was just come get your face on camera. Make it a point to make sure you're on camera. And here's how you can do that and look like a pro. But the graphics, I put them on with the app called InShot, InShot, InShot. But you can also do them with the app that's called CapCut, CapCut, CapCut. Those are a couple of great editing tools, softwares or apps, I should say. Now, how do I transfer it from my phone to my laptop? Great question. There are several ways to do that, but the way I do it, I have a Google Drive, and I will take the uh, picture, whatever it is, or video in this case, and I will uh, click and drag it over to Google Drive, which I have on my phone and on my laptop. Google Drive syncs through the cloud. So as long as you've got Wi-Fi, it'll all connect properly. But I will take the video, or if I've edited the video in InShot or CapCut, I'll export it into a file, and that file I'll put in my Google Drive. And then once it's uploaded, it has to upload. In my case, I use Wi-Fi to do that. I'll upload with Wi-Fi to the cloud, and then it will be downloadable through Google Drive onto my laptop. That's how I'll get it on my laptop.
That's a great answer. Thank you, Blake. And I hope everybody picked up on that. That's pretty cool. So you're kind of going through that medium of Google Drive. Another question we've got here is, let's see, what did you say in reference to jumping in the pool? What did you say in the video to jump for your viewers and why you were jumping in the pool? Yeah, kind of explain what was happening there at the end with the jump in the pool.
So yeah, the pool video, I'm I've just given a full tour of the home, and it or a tour of the inside of the house, but I'm also moving pretty quickly. Now, in this case, I didn't use a tripod. I think I had my daughter walk through with me. I had a camera person. I think it was my daughter, and she was walking through, watching, and you know how you can do that with family. You've got your family walking with you and that kind of thing. So I'm walking through the house, And then I get right to I'm talking about the pool at the very end, and I'm standing right at the edge of it, talking about it. And then I just said, and what's another great feature of this house? I haven't said anything about the pool yet, other than there's a pool. And then I say, at the end of a busy day of work, you can just come home and jump right in. And I just turn and jump into the pool. And that's how I set that up. And then I come out of the pool. I just remembered that and said, I don't even remember what I said, but it was something like call me for a tour. And I just did my normal call me for a tour.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And that got a viral response, right? You got a lot of
Oh, it
views
definitely
on it.
did. It definitely
Uh,
did. A lot of jokes. People wrote some really clever comments that were just like, and people would tell me, I was watching that. And people who know me well and know my personality know that it's not out of the question that I'm going to end up in that pool at the end of that video. They might have anticipated it. In fact, I did have one person saying, "I wondered why you were wearing that tie."
it's not your
Well,
normal
I was
time.
wearing the tie so I could jump in the pool and make a bigger impact.
That's awesome. Yeah, you only want to do that one take.
That's right.
One
That's
take
right.
jumping in the pool.
Has to be. Yeah.
Uh, so that sounds like a lot of fun. Oh, I've got another question or two here, but viral. So the idea of a video going viral or you're getting a lot of reviews, what's like a good thing to expect for someone? Like they see and they put one up and they get 5 views. Is that good? Is that bad? 10 views? How many views would you consider viral? You understand what I'm asking? Like,
Yeah,
what should
yeah.
they anticipate
So,
or expect when they put a video up?
yeah, it all depends. I probably get, I mean, there's a lot of ways to do this. If you put something on TikTok, it's probably going to get a lot more views. It's just randomness, though. It's randomness. I want the people in my community and that I'm connected with to see my videos. Remember, we talked about at the beginning of this, it's part of my branding to do video. I don't know how many. I have sold some properties from video, or at least that's been one of the tools. Has been video that people have told me I saw the video. It was intriguing, and they ended up buying the property. But what I've more often than that, what I've seen is it's a listing tool for me more than anything. I've had people tell me, "Hey, I saw you doing that walkthrough on that property." In fact, I did one, and this was a complete rehab, gut rehab property. And I did a walkthrough video, and I didn't act like it was beautiful. I knew it wasn't beautiful, and I knew the only people that could buy it, the only people that would buy it, and the only people who could buy it would be cash buyers who were going to fix it. No bank was going to finance it. The floor had collapsed, it had crawl space, but the floor was collapsed into down to the ground, down to the dirt. And so I did a video walkthrough of that. And that was a much more handheld me walking through, talking about it. And sometimes I would turn it back to me. So I was talking, but I'm narrating it. And I pointed out some rough areas. I said, first off, don't walk in this room if you come to look at this property because the floor is collapsed. And right over here, if you look carefully, you'll see that you can see daylight through this wall. So I pointed all that out, and comments came up, this house should be bulldozed and all this kind of stuff. I already knew pretty much who it was going to sell to as far as what type of buyer, and my video was not going to be relevant to them at all. It was and it sold the next day. Incidentally, we had a contract on it within a day of listing it, and for the full list price. So it sold right away. But I used that video just to make something interesting on social media that people engaged in. And I later got a listing where the seller told me, I saw that video where you were looking at a house where you could see daylight through the wall. And I thought, if he can sell that thing, and you sold it like in a few days. And she said, if you can sell that thing, you can sell my mom's house. And that's exactly what we did. Now, it took more than a few days to sell her mom's house, but I got that listing in part because of that video.
That is awesome. You basically showed your people that you sell more than just pretty houses, right? You sell them all, whatever
That's
they've
right.
got, you can help them out. That is cool. Um, let's see, we've got a couple more questions. Where can we see your videos? Sandra asked. Do you have a place that they can go and see your videos?
Yeah, I don't know that I have all of them here. I mean, I post them on Facebook, so you can certainly go to my Facebook page, which is Blake Watson. Um, and you probably would, I know there's probably a bunch of Blake Watsons on Facebook, but I'm going to be the one that's a realtor in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Um, so there's that on Facebook. On Instagram, I'm a little easier to find. It's Rock and Roll Blake. Rock, the letter N, roll, Blake, Blake. That's my, it has a little at, I think on it too at the beginning, but Rock and Roll Blake is my handle for Instagram. And then on LinkedIn, I'm Blake Watson, and you can definitely look that up. I don't put as many of the videos on Instagram, not as many of the home tours. I do more of the data and that kind of thing. But you can look at my videos there. Um, I do have a YouTube site as well, but I only put a few on there because I'm not really looking for viral stuff there. I use that more for to have a video tour of the home that's on the MLS, or sometimes I'll do paid views on YouTube, and I'll have thousands on there. But someone was asking what counts as viral to me. You know, I have what I would consider, I know everything's relative, but I consider it a small number of Facebook friends. It's like 1,400, something like that. 1,400 Facebook friends, and much less than that on Instagram. So if I put a video up and it has even even a fraction, maybe a half of that number, if I've got 1,400, if I've got 600 video views, I feel like I've had a very good video. But I often have well more than 1,400. I did a Valentine's giveaway. It was not a home tour. And if you see my Valentine's giveaway where I'm showing the conversation hearts and I'm setting up the contest, that's on Facebook. I think that's the only place where it is Facebook. I didn't put it anywhere else. But it's got like 2,500 views or something like that. It is a scripted video. I am reading from the teleprompter and holding this up. Now, when I did the contest, when I actually announced who the winner was, I did not do a scripted one there, and it's sloppy, and you can tell, but it's still a lot of people saw it. But when I actually announced the winner, I had a goat in my hands, and my wife was doing the camera. The audio was awful. I was so frustrated at the audio afterwards, but it didn't matter. I mean, it's okay. When you're doing something fun, in that case, that's what that was. It was just something fun.
Yeah, I kind of pick up from this that you're showing like the pro moves and the real slick moves, everything is working well, but you're also saying, hey, it doesn't matter, get something out there, even if it's not perfect, as long as it has your face. You said your face is your brand. Your face is your brand. Make sure your face is getting out there. A couple final questions here. Um, let's see, how many videos do you do per house, and how many platforms, on how many platforms? So how many videos do you create for each house that you're going to market? How many platforms do you put that on? Do you post the same video on different platforms using the same tool? And then the second part of that is how long should each video be, whether it was an open house preview or a full tour, et cetera.
So, if typically for a house, now if it's on the market a long time, I've got to come up with some other creative ways to represent that property. I had a house that was I pitched it as mid-century modern. It was basically a house that was built in the mid 60s, and nothing had happened to it since then. So it wasn't a cool mid-century modern as much as just it happened to be still from the mid-century. So that one took a while to sell and because it needed a lot of work actually, but I created several different videos because I took different angles. And by that I don't mean just different video angles, but I scripted it differently. I talked about the mid-century modern aspect of it one time in a whole video. And another time I talked about just how it was a large house and you could put a lot of people in it. So that's, if you've got a large family or friends or whatever you got, roommates, whatever you got. So I did, if you've got different messages, like I have two videos right now for a mountain property. One of them is investor focused because it's currently rented and it is appealing to an investor. So there's an entire script about it being investor related. And then I have a whole nother video of it. Hey, come live in your mountain retreat. And I'm pitching it as a place to live and enjoy. So if you've got different messages or really different audiences that could appreciate that, then maybe you do a couple of different videos. When I do that, those different videos are horizontal on YouTube. If it's the same video, to get back to your question, I'm going to do one video that's pretty well produced in most cases, that's vertical, where I'm doing the home tour and I'm standing in front of the house. Then I turn, it cuts, I'm going in the front door, and you don't even see me walking in the front door. It's just the camera's going to the front door. But and then it's narrated. That is vertical. I'll produce one copy of it, one video, and I'll post it on YouTube. I'm sorry, on not on YouTube, but the vertical video on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. That's where I'm posting it. It could, I'm sure I could put it on TikTok. I just haven't done that. Um, Maybe I should.
You might be the next TikTok star. Come on, Blake, get it out there.
Yeah.
Let's go. Do a dance move.
My daughter wants me to do, she says, Dad, I think you'd blow up on TikTok. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I can't do it all. I definitely focus on those three, the Instagram, uh, Facebook, and LinkedIn. For me, that works very well.
And that's your vertical ones.
That's
Um,
vertical.
Amy had a question. How do you know which to use, either vertical or horizontal? How do you know which to use? Because you don't have any way of knowing who the person will be, whether the person viewing is looking on a laptop or a phone. So that was the first question. And then the second question is, could you show us a demo of one of your videos that incorporates graphics? So the first question though is, how do you know which you're going to go vertical or horizontal? You don't know what device they're going to be looking at. So what do you pick?
Yeah, so it's a simple answer and simple decision. If it's Facebook, if it's social media, not YouTube, but true social media, including LinkedIn for that matter, I'm doing it vertical because 90% of the viewing is done on a phone. When somebody's using Facebook or Instagram, that's the de facto or the default. Everybody's looking at it vertical video for the most part. YouTube, however, now they have this newer thing. Now I say it's new. It's not that new anymore. YouTube Shorts, which I could post these shorter ones. I think it's a maximum of 30 seconds for YouTube short, and that's probably a good place for me to put other vertical videos. YouTube's trying to have some competition for vertical video, and so they do it by using YouTube shorts. So if I had a 30-second video, I would I haven't done this, but I should post it on YouTube shorts. However, if it's horizontal, I'm producing it specifically for YouTube. That's the only reason I produce horizontal video is for YouTube, which is even if they're looking at it on their phone, they are accustomed to seeing it horizontally. Most YouTube video is presented, the standard is presented horizontally. But what's surprising, and I look at my statistics and my data from YouTube videos that I'm running, is a lot of them are being viewed on television sets, meaning that's somebody sitting at home on the couch and they're whatever, flipping through some YouTube videos or watching something that's with YouTube, and they're watching my video because it's coming in as a suggested video, or if I'm paying, then it's coming in as one of those ads that you can skip after 5 seconds.
That's good, Blake. And we're coming towards the end here. So the question was, do you have a demo of one that incorporates graphics? Do you have something that you could easily show us, or is there a place that people could go to see that? You had mentioned like your
I would
accounts, your
go to
social
my
media accounts.
Facebook. I think I can pull something up here. I'll pull something here pretty quick. I think that, let me make sure.
I guess
Oh,
to
it
give us an
doesn't have.
idea what the graphic might look like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This was really simple. I mean, this is as simple as it gets. Um, this is the Valentine's thing. I don't know if you can see it, but there are some graphics that are coming up on that at the bottom, kind of. Can you see those graphics at all? No? Okay. Well, it says it's basically the words that I'm saying. It's very small. That's not typically what I do. Anyway, yeah, I don't have something real
That's
easy.
okay.
My
We put you
YouTube.
on the spot for a real
Yeah,
quick
I'm
one.
sorry, guys.
So they can
I
maybe
was
go
looking for
look
a
at your
YouTube.
YouTube channel or your Facebook page, and they might be able to see one as an example.
Yeah, here
Uh,
we go. Hey,
oh,
here you
got
go.
one.
Yeah, Blake Watson. I'm looking at my YouTube channel because it doesn't have many videos, but it has some, and you can see how the graphics look and everything. It's at Real Estate by Blake. That's the tagline there, or handle. Real Estate by Blake. And then it's Blake Watson dash Realtor. So you can look me up as Blake Watson Realtor, and you'll probably you're going to find Chattanooga and Georgia stuff here. Um, yeah, so that's how I don't know if I can show them here or not. So yeah, well there you go. You can kind of see some graphics rolling there, right? Not a lot. And I'm doing a video. I'm kind of watching it there on the screen. You got the idea. This is not fancy stuff. I mean, it is fancy, but it's not that fancy. It's not that hard to do.
So
I'm
most
doing
of
it
the
with
graphics are
$17 app, this InShot. That was done with InShot. So
most of the graphics. When you say graphics, they're the text. It's the text going on over the
correct.
override over. Okay, cool. So
Correct.
it's like an overlay of text on the video itself, and that's
Yeah,
nice.
thank you.
That's easy and quick to create, right? You're not having to go find some special image somewhere. It's just the text. So this is great. Well, we're going to wrap this up. We've eaten up a bunch of your time. I think everybody's pretty excited to find out about video and what you've been doing. You've done such a great job, Blake. Thank you so much for sharing all this with us. And this has been a lot of fun. Again, if you would all like to do this again, first of all, let me just thank you for joining us today. You can watch the replay. Hopefully, this recording is going to get recorded and come out well. If so, it will be on our YouTube channel, and you can find that channel if you want to see the replay at Rams Agents Talk Real Estate. Rams Agents Talk Real Estate, that's the channel. By the way, this presentation was sponsored by Rams Agents at Epic Realty. If you do want to learn more about us, go back to the person who invited you to this meeting and be sure to watch out for the next Rams Agents Talk Real Estate presentation. Again, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Bye for now.